Professor Melly Mail, the Hood Postman. Be sure to drop by the mailroom. Click the notification bell. Like, subscribe, drop a comment down below. Because when that dope content hit, it'll feel like the 1st and 15th. Bam, you know about the 1st and the 15th, man. Where were you on the 1st and the 15th, Bam? What were you doing? What was that mindset back then, Bam? Talk to us about it.
I had a girlfriend that was on the couch. I used to be posted on her porch every 1st and 15th right on the bill, man.
And explain to the people why.
That was county that, man. Everybody had some money. Everybody had some money.
And what was usually the circumstances around that money, Bam?
Hustling. That money was, I know a lot of females came up flipping their county check. I know a lot of dudes flipped their girls' county check and came up and became millionaires. You know, came thousandaires, but 1st and 15th meant something in the hoods, man. I remember girls used to meet the postman before the postman ran on their block.
How serious was that, man? Would they be mad, or what was that like?
No,
Tell us
my
about
neighbor
it.
had a mailman named Clyde. He used to be parked his little Jeep on Stockwell and Grandy at the post mailbox. And my older homegirls, man, they used to go get their check. You know? And Clyde wasn't mad. He understood, man. They need their money. You know?
Was that a sense of desperation, or that just what they just needed it in their hand? What was that about?
They just needed it in their hand. Because desperation is when it need to come sooner.
And I'm glad you explained it like that, man.
When it needed to come sooner.
Because those circumstances during that time, man, was very different today. How did the 80s compare to today, man?
It ain't no comparison, man.
Why?
It was violent, but it wasn't as violent as it is now. Hustling was good. I mean, you can post up and get bread. The 80s was, hey man, I used to love to hear somebody pull up and say, let's go to Tony's and eat breakfast.
Down on the pier?
Yeah. Let's go eat.
That's one of my favorite spots, man.
Going to the skating ring. I ain't a
Skate Depot, Reseda, Roller Wheels.
I was going to Reseda in 80 though. First time I ever went to Reseda, man, you ain't gonna never believe. Me and Iceman from Cone Pocket Wrestling in Peace. And Ranger.
Gadget?
He had a Seville working at the shipyard. He was messing with Lloyd's sister, Tanya Morris. And I knocked one of the partners named Dee Dee. And Cherry Carter was up there. We went to the skating rink. Yeah, we was at the skating rink.
Describe the skating ring during that time. Reseda. We're in Reseda. That's in Northridge. Reseda, actually.
It wasn't a whole lot of black folks going there. That was like a low-key skating rink where you can go to get away. And I went up in there, man. My homie LeBron was with us too. I went up in there. Never forget, I don't know, right today was first time I've seen a sister ball like low-cut hair like ours. Full figure one, but she was really attractive, and she was attracted to me. And the cold part, she went to school with me, and I ain't remember. She went to Centennial with me, but she was there. I ain't finna say something being bougie or nothing. She was sounding like an old proper white girl, but I had fun that night, man.
Was the Reseda a place you can go to and you can sort of relax and take your mind from
off the neighborhood shit? Flippers was like that too. Flippers in Hollywood was, ooh, man. First time I went there, me, Big Ollie, Mike T, met Raph from Main Street up there.
Where those guys from? Big Ollie, Mike T.
Mike T, they from Nutty.
Okay.
Big Ollie, my cousin. Mike
you spent a lot of time with them.
Well, I looked up to my cousins. And when I hustled in my neighborhood, I always wanted to impress my cousin and how I was hustling. So I was getting my money. They used to love to see their little cousin, so I hung out with the older cats over there. Gregory and them was more into going to clubs. Mac Washington was into going to clubs, right? I remember one time one of my big homies came on, Billy Ray Scott from the Pocket. And had that brand new 78 Brougham. And he pulled up one night on 133rd. I'm out there serving that water. He said, man, I want you to roll with me. He suited and booted. I said, man, give me like an hour. jumped in my Lolo, went home on Slater, and changed, and I put back up on the front to lose liquor. I'm with my tailor, man. Like, look at this little nigga. I used to hang out with older cats, you know what I mean? I was like, that's where I got a lot of my street knowledge from. Hang with older homies.
Let me say this, Bamm. And this came from Head Honcho. Head Honcho said that Raymond Lee Washington, had a lot of respect and admiration for the Compton Crips.
He did. Compton is, I ain't trying to toot our horn or nothing. We carried ourselves totally different than most people when it came to Crip.
Let me finish, Bamm. And where that respect really lies is when he witnessed Keedy Welch, Big Ollie, Fatso, some of the guys that were known as the 165 Block, just to name a few.
Yeah.
The way they pushed back on the west side when they tried to come to a party in Compton and thought they was just gonna, you know. And the way they reacted to them, the next time they came, they was blinking their lights because it was protocol. When you hit the Grandies, you have to blink your lights. That's protocol. In a certain kind of way. Let them know who you are, you understand? And they respected the code, Compton code, because Compton was on code. Yeah. And this come from Head Honcho. He said, and he named some people, and I ain't gonna, throw their names out, but they got in line real quick.
They had to follow suit.
And Raymond loved it.
Yeah.
He loved it.
That's the last place I seen him.
And he had a great deal of admiration for Keedy Welch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Keedy is not mentioned enough when it comes to this Compton history.
Last time I seen Raymond, we was in front of Keedy Welch's house on the block. He was laying on Skeeter Red from PJ's Cadillac, laying on it like he owned it. You feel me? That was the last time I seen Raymond before I went to prison. Right? Them dudes, Keely and them, man. I mean, I used to walk from front of it to the block. Before I hit 166, I'm gonna turn off Caldwell in Northwood, and I'm gonna hit the 5 first. I'm gonna walk by Todd and Keely Welch house. Sparks.
Anthony McAllister.
You feel me? Walk by. First, I'm gonna stop at the candy house. Next to Sports.
Why you gonna stop at the candy house?
Give me some now ladies, some apple sticks.
You sure love them now ladies.
Then I'm walk down there to Fatso. Talk to Fatso and his big brother. Fatso had a girl named Annie. Annie was dark skinned, cool as fuck. Then I hit Hilford. Then I go to the 6. Before I get to my cousin and mom, stop at Gang Grandfather house.
That's George.
George and Greg Taylor. Whenever I spent the night, I hung with their little brother, Brent Taylor, the wrestling police gang uncle. I hung out with him. 2 houses away was my cousin's in them house. I go there. At this time, Big Andy them lived around the corner. Sometimes then the next person I hang out with be Big Woody. So when I spent the night, I hung with Big Woody over here. Now, I'm a couple of years older than Big Woody. I mean, a year older, matter of fact, but we hung out, right? Shit, man, about 11 or 12, when I was a kid, here come the generals, Matt, Raymond. They showing up at my people house. So that was my introduction to them. And it taught me that I had to carry myself a certain way. You feel me? Because when I used to go over there, man, my cousin was like, man, yeah, Mac Wise, they get to telling me my homies, Mac Wise, Great Cross, Pet, you feel me, Pete the Buster, you feel me? And Pete the Buster is like my uncle from my hood.
It's Pete the Buster.
Yeah, we gave him that name. Pete
the Buster, because he like busting them on them dice.
You feel me? Pete the Buster, #1 hustler, man. He got a stepsister named Sherry Morris. My uncle got 2 kids by her. So, that's like my uncle. But my big homies was just, front of it had a rep in Compton. Every hood had homies that had a rep. Mm-hmm. So that made your hood have a rep. And Compton was different. I remember one time, man, it's like in 78, I went up to Crenshaw High. We trying to knock at little brawls and stuff. Had those corduroys and some Cortez just like these. I had a t-shirt and I had my belt on the side.
Hold them Cortez up, man.
Right. I
There
had
you
my,
go. That's original. Hold them up, man. I can't see.
that's the original right there.
There you go. The original Cortez.
We used to wear these in Compton. We used to get money. And I was getting at this young lady at Crenshaw. She said, "You from Compton?" I said, "How you know?" She said, "Y'all got y'all t-shirt and y'all pants. We always wore t-shirts. White t-shirts, Levi corduroy, right tennies. And kept a buck knife on the side. I got that from 165 dudes, right? But Compton was, everybody that associated with us admired our cripping. We didn't set trip. No, we had individual beefs. It ain't like it is now. You understand what I'm saying? And Grandy's was like headquarters for us. So if you was a Crip and you wanted to be somebody or you was somebody, you had to go into Grandy's. So I'm a little dude to tell the truth about this. And here, Huncho Mike confirmed this. When we was real baby Crips, we wasn't even allowed to really hang out in the Grandy's. They ain't let us hang out like that. I was 12 and 13, big. I didn't even let me go in the Grandy's. I couldn't go up in there. I'd hang out over there with me and Woody and
The baby Crips.
Yeah. But when them older homies came, we had to get up out of there.
Because listen, man, you had to be went through the boot camp
You feel me?
at Raymond Park.
Yeah.
Once you get through the boot camp stage, then you were allowed certain,
Right.
liberties in that circumference of knowledge. Because if you look at the Grandies, it was a circumference, it was a cul-de-sac, it was a circle.
You feel me? Like you hear dude, like you was just saying, Kitty Welch name don't come up enough. Salty name don't come up enough. Big Ant name don't come up enough. See,
Red Dog, Michael Redman.
Yeah, see, sometimes.
Catnip.
Exactly. You know, we got G homies that people ain't never heard of, like King Rat. You feel me? That these dudes' names, I looked at King Rat like he was the biggest motherfucker in the city. And, Tookie was on swole, him and Q's brother Mouse and Jamil with his fat ass, but King Rat ass.
Yeah.
Hey, yo,
He was stacked up.
You feel me? Like, you hear a lot of dudes trying to put 100 on their, I ain't gonna say crippin', man, they put 100 on their history. Because when I was in the pen, man, I ran across a gang cats older than me, and you claiming the Grandies. I just like, man, don't be claiming the Grandies. You just claiming that because nobody might not know who you are. You feel me? A lot of these youngsters don't know Grandies was that thing. You feel me? I done told a few dudes, nah, Sumo don't know you, Ant don't know you. Can't be from the Grandies.
It was the creme de la creme, a crippin'.
You feel me?
A lot of people don't know that Boot Hill Reggie is related to Ant.
Yeah.
And lived with Ant now.
You feel me? So you got to look at it like that. Like a lot of people, I remember when Aunt Mother moved on St. Marcus off Bradfield. Because I had a homeboy live down the street from here. Greg Jenks used to live up there. So I used to go over there. Now ask me, and people will tell you shit, Cynthia Nell can confirm that, say, man, Crips couldn't live over there. But the Ant family moved over there. And it wasn't no problem, but it wasn't nothing but some respect. You can move wherever you want to move to, as long as you conduct yourself in a respectful manner. Ain't nobody gonna trip on you, right? Crippin' and Compton ain't being respected as much as it need to be respected. People's only.
So quick question, Bamm. When did it become okay and when did it become kind of the norm for convenient crippin' to be a part of crippin'? See, because crippin' is one thing, but convenient crippin' comes under the heading or the definition of dudes that just walked in and just starts claiming the neighborhood. Then go ahead.
It's like, let me put it this way. This is just my opinion.
OG perspective.
That's that late 80s, mid 90s shit. It's convenient to be a Crip. Because that conveniality can get you get a pass from it. You can get a pass with it. But sometimes being inconvenient crip can get you fucked off too. You feel me? So it's convenient to be a crip when these dudes had these big sacks out there that really wasn't no crip. But they lived in these neighborhoods.
And they wanted an army.
And they wanted the army. It's convenient to be a crip then. Let me claim this because you might not get robbed because this is where you're from. But whether nobody know, them dudes are the same dudes that wouldn't get a homies nothing. Right? Ain't nothing wrong with being a convenient crip if you pay the cost to be the boss.
How do they factor in today's problem, Bamm?
They factor into it to a lot. Because you look out for other dudes and don't look out for the people you claiming. So I can't have a major sack or a whole lot of money and not look out for front of it, man. If I'm looking out for somebody from West Side or Fruitown, even from Santana, and my homies hearing about that, they gonna be offended. I'm supposed to look out for them because this is my army. I'm gonna need them if something happened to me. I'm claiming their help. And dudes ain't doing that correctly. They rather look out for somebody else. And that's a shame when you're supposed to look out for where you come from.
Do you think that seeped in because of a lot of us was doing time?
That's the reason it sinked in, right? See, dudes handpick who they want to look out for, right? And you shouldn't have to do that. If you claim the neighborhood, now I ain't saying you're obligated to do nothing. You're obligated to take care of your family, your kids. But what I am saying is, if you claim in the neighborhood and you getting money, you're supposed to look out for your homeboys, because your homeboys gonna be the ones to stand on the front line if something happened to you. And some dudes with the money isn't doing that. They rather let dudes from other hoods sharing their wealth, while the dude that might be from another hood is contributing to their neighborhood and being prepared for a war. Like Sugar Free said, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready, right? I feel when you get money, if a motherfucker claims front of the hood, Nutty, Santana, Palmer Block, whatever, he supposed to contribute to his homeboys. And whatever level them brothers is on, he supposed to contribute. They need guns, he supposed to get them some guns. If they need a sack, shit, help them get a sack. Why you helping somebody else from the opposing side you doing for them, but you ain't doing for your own? That perpetuates problems. They throw iron logs in the fire, and more gasoline.
That create animosity, anger, jealousy,
envy, all that. Chaos.
To undermine other tribe itself.
Exactly. And it ain't cool. You feel me, Melly Mel? And most dudes don't see it like that. Somebody told nigga, if you got a whole lot of money, you're a general. I've seen a whole lot of rich niggas come in that state pen and be punks. Now, I ain't gonna say no names. Get slapped, get chains took off of them, get pressured. But they can come to the streets and still be them niggas. But they was in the penitentiary being hoes, though. The ones that had that money. I can say, I seen this. Niggas that was having a whole lot of money in that era.
So when they wound up in that 4-yard,
it was totally different. Like, see, when Turtle was getting his money, Turtle was still tearing it out. Gangsta was still tearing it out. They didn't switch reels. Big Bay, my homie, them dudes was still, they was hood
true
niggas.
to who they were.
You feel what I'm saying? They was hood niggas. Like when Turtle came to the pen, I can honestly vouch for this. I had came down from Old Folsom, hit Tracy, Turtle got there. There was a whole lot of niggas from Compton that had no TVs. When Turtle got there, nigga listened to me. Lisa sent a whole lot of niggas from Compton some black and white TVs. Because Turtle wanted to see them niggas with some TVs. I remember Turtle telling the nigga one time, man, I ain't gonna buy no motherfucking floater. Nigga, just give me the paper to Walkenhurst, nigga, and I'm gonna send it. That's real. That was my study.
T gonna never, if T got anything to do with it, he ain't gonna never see Compton do bad.
Listen
he ain't gonna
to
let Compton see less, do bad, none of that.
And when my homie went home, I'll never forget, man. Somebody said, man, Turtle wouldn't talk to you. Hey, just put the phones on the yard. I was on the phone talking to a broad. Finna go on a visit, getting ready for a visit. So I grabbed the phone. I said, Turtle, called me on this line. Turtle got off that phone, called the girl that we on the three-way. He tell this certain nigga that they get somebody, old Blue No dude, right? This nigga must have thought Turtle was finna send me in the penitentiary. I'm finna get to the car. I was all, no, we don't do that, man. This belong to me. That's the type of dude T was. I'm gonna tell you who else was like that. They tell me. My homie Big Lou was like that.
How was Nate in the pen?
Nate was a beast, a young beast. And if you didn't Nate tell me from Palmer, if you didn't represent the hood right, Compton, cuz and believe nobody else in another city getting on no Comptons. We handled our own. I remember when I first met Nate, this dude, I just see Nate that niggas shaking like leaves in the cell. He used to whoop on him real tough. Nate was a beast. Last time we was in the pen together, me and Turtle was Sully's in Palm Hall. Nate was down the tier was in the hole. He got to whoop some boy ass in the cell. The boy was whooping it out. Dude like, hey Turtle, man, tell him to stop. I was laughing, man, but Nate was a good dude. I'm telling you, last time when I had my murder, man, Turtle had Flint send me some money.
Flint Coleman?
Yeah.
AKA Fats?
Cuz sent me 200. One thing was in there. Was a brief note, say, T, say, look out. You feel me? Turtle, if you was somebody, Turtle was gonna make sure you was straight. We got a lot of homies like that. We got a lot of young homies that do that today. From Compton, BGs. You got a lot of BGs, TGs, OTGs that's being laced by the real G's like us. And they patting their game after what they seen, so they doing it.
So Bamm, how big would it be if we can get the nutties?
If we what?
If we can get the nutties, follow me.
All right.
Farm Dog, Spooktown, Acacia, Southside, Atlantic Drive, Tradnoo, Lantana, T-Zone, Swamp, Kelly Park. If I miss anybody, okay, I'm still going.
All right.
Santana, Palmerbach, 126, N-Hood, Compton N-Hoods.
That's front hood. Talking about the N-Hoods backyard?
Yeah, I'm still going.
All right.
Front Hoods,
Yeah.
Corner Pocket, Anzac Grape. 126, did I say that?
Yeah, you said 6 hood.
Okay.
Mona
Park.
Carver.
Carver Park. If we could take 2 individuals from each one of those tribes, build a quorum to where we could sit down and we could I'm talking about the young. We get 2 individuals from each tribe, from the young, then we bring in 2 OGs or 1 OG, whatever. And we sit down and we hash it out. We hash it out. No matter what it takes. What's your thoughts?
Opinion, you couldn't have said it no better. Instead of 2, it'd be 3. BG, OTG, and a TG.
Mm-hmm.
3 from each hood. And 2 G's that got some influence. Not two G's that want to be more than what they are. Right? We got a whole lot of generals out here that ain't generals. Don't qualify to be in general, and they head they generals. But if you get a BG, matter of fact, folk, OBG, get 1 from every generation, and get 2 G's from each hood. And don't sit at a round table just to talk about solutions. Get everybody comfortable. Let's have breakfast. Let's have brunch. No alcohol. Let's really talk it out. And I guarantee that we can create a ceasefire and we can create communications amongst the collectors. Because a lot of times, the dudes that we end up beefing for behind each other, behind the neighborhoods, and end up being ain't nobody. They didn't punk the gang. You know, a lot of internal beef was over females.
That's what I was just going to mention. How much of it is vagina related, man? Because a lot of it is vagina related.
It's a lot of our personal problems come over a female. See, this is what Compton needs to start understanding. Every individual set. If somebody is filed from Front Hood, Santana, Nutty, Park Village is out of pocket to handle our filings. We conduct our business with that. And you must respect us enough to allow us to do it. And once we throw them away, if we say he filed and he ain't from here no more, we throw him to the wolves. Now that individual chooses to want to go hang in another hood, he doing that on his own accord. And that's what we got to learn too. We can't protect busters. Dudes is falling in love with these girls. And I ain't saying everyone manipulating problems, right? But if the girl's the core of the problem, why is she still hanging around?
I got another question, Bam. Give me your honest opinion, your honest, genuine opinion. We got some people that say that Professor Melly Mel is biased. And let me give you...
That you what?
I'm biased.
Biased because what?
Because I don't mention certain times at certain paces when certain people get assaulted or assassinated, whatever the case may be. But what they don't do is that it's okay to dislike me. It's okay to not like what my thought process or my opinions. Yeah. But what's not okay, if you can't specifically point out to Professor Melly Mel something that he does wrong. Specifically.
Well, watch this, man. Well, I'm going to answer this the best way I know how to, because I don't think you biased. So you don't know me in your conversations. Every conversation ain't meant for a camera. Right? They don't know who you're talking to. It's obvious you must be talking to the right people and you're not being biased because you're going in every community. You're going in communities that the people that sick probably hate on you can't go to. I'm going to tell you like my little homie Bamm, Redbird and them told me. Keep doing what you do. Keep doing what you're doing because you're on a good platform. Because you're only trying to reach a solution. That's all I want, Melly. I just want a solution to what's going on in my city. Mm-hmm. Because I can guarantee you this. If Compton can stop the gang violence, LA gonna follow suit.
True. I believe that.
You feel me? What we need to do as a collective, I'm talking about from before as this Crip shit go. Stop worrying about these other niggas on these videos. Because they got something to say about another nigga. So what? Like if somebody was getting at me, I don't know whack, don't want to know whack, my nigga. I ain't never knew that dude existed, so I started being on YouTube, looking at shit. His business ain't my business. Fuck Tekashi 6ix9ine, whoever the fuck he is. I don't get down in that. Start dwelling on some real shit. Because dudes, we get empowered when we always elaborating on them. When we make them the topic of the conversation. That gives them an empowered. We don't want to give busters power. And I ain't calling that man no buster, I'm just...
Haitian proverb, Bam, said the goat business ain't got nothing to do with the sheep business.
You feel what I'm saying? That's what we got to learn. Separate the goat from the sheep, the chicken from the rooster. You feel me? Because I fuck with a lot of youngsters, man, a lot of my young homies. Seem like my little homies know everybody from every clique in Compton. They got a partner from every clique. So why would you just was talking about what you asked me on couldn't work? You feel me? Niggas need to understand this is rules of engagement to gangbanging. I said this on the video last night on my show. It's rules of engagement to gangbanging. The motherfuckers need to start respecting the rules of engagement to gangbanging. The kids is off limits and parents is off limits.
Also, man, if you're basing this on the mafia format, nobody ever got hit in the mafia unless it was a council that sat down and said, bam,
exactly.
That person must be dealt with.
Well, when me and you was coming up, man, I'm going to show you different generation than me and you was coming up. If a nigga told, he wouldn't come back to the hood.
Period.
If a nigga ran out, he wouldn't come back to the hood.
Period.
If a nigga PC'd up in prison, he wouldn't come back to the hood. Because he knew what was going to happen to him.
Period.
Niggas need to start going back to the root of shit and not this new shit. Right? If you respect the game, do what's needed to respect the game.
But Ben, the driving force of all this is hip hop. That's almost. But listen, in hip hop, everything and anything goes.
Oh yeah.
That's why I think that. That's why it's so comfortable.
What people don't see, we can't always blame shit on hip hop, right?
Mm-hmm.
I look at it for a cause or something, but it getting everything. Hip hop getting it from the communities though.
Mm-hmm.
See, before rapping was popping, niggas was allowing niggas to be rats and still hang out because they might have a sack or they had money.
80s mentality. Late 80s.
You feel me? Yeah. You feel me? We got to learn to view it like this, man. I don't want to be associated with a nigga that got a snitch jacket on him in no form, shape, or fashion. And if I end up finding out he was a rat, I'm going to back up from him. Now I might have created some love for this nigga. So I'm going to still back up for him because I don't want to be the one that have to do this nigga. So I'm going to stop fucking with him, man. Because 9 out of 10, he was using me anyway to keep the cheat off of him. And that's what dudes is doing. They sell their soul for materialistic things. That hip hop shit, I mean, what? Look at Tekashi, man. Every time I see a video on this dude, he think it's cool to show up and say, yeah, I'm snitching, but let me tell you about who else snitching. That ain't cool. He get to cheat off himself by pointing the finger at somebody else. Basically what he's saying, shit, if they did it, it was all right for me to do it, so why y'all mad at me? That's because ain't nobody being held accountable for their actions and consequences to bullshit, man.
Well, man, let's leave it right there. There's more videos to come. As we know, Professor Melly Mel, the Hood Postman, you know that vibe.
Let me send a shout out to my young homie,
Go
Spice.
shit it out.
Send a shout out to Sick Mick, Hint Dog, Spicy Mike, Big Ice. It's Sally Day and Lil Baby Rob in front of it on Death Row, man. They're my little homies.
L Loke.
Yeah. Well, I was with L Loke the other day.
Redbird.
Redbird, then my niggas. Bamm.
Insane.
Insane. Wayne hit me this morning. I send shouts out to all the ones I love. My homegirl, little vet, just lost her auntie. I ain't realize it was Vicky. Vicky was my big homegirl, Vicky Knight. So I'm gonna extend my condolences to my homegirl, vet and her family.
With that being said, man, that's the Bamm right here.
You know?
Not just Bamm, the Bamm.
Yeah, OG Bamm.
There you go.
You feel
Professor Melly Mel, the Hood Postman. Be sure to drop by the mailroom, click the notification bell, like, subscribe, drop a comment down below. So when that dope content hit, it's gonna feel like what, Bamm?
Brand new 1st and 15th.
There it is, there. Bamm said it. We out.
We out.